Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Chuck.
Hi, everybody.
Chuck. I think spring is upon us. Things are starting to warm up.
Thank goodness. Yeah, it's been a pretty mild winter, but I'm ready for spring and summer.
Me too. Ready to just dive into something warmer.
And stuff's starting to bloom, and that's pretty cool. It's a great time of the year.
Yeah. So speaking of warm,
What do we got today?
a nice little cup of coffee here. So I grabbed, this is a coffee from Rwanda. It is a medium roast from Pine State Coffee. So they're actually fairly close to our headquarters here. Nice and conveniently located. Fun little bag too. I really like the design of that.
It's a cool bag.
I don't think I've had Rwandan coffee.
It's very distinctive.
I've had Ethiopian. This is good.
It's got a very distinctive taste. I like it.
A little fruity, a little acidic.
Yep.
A lot going on there. Speaking of a lot going on, we just got back from D.C.
Yeah, we did. You know, we had an election last November. Congress is back in session. Kind of a crazy time with the change in leadership of change in control of the House. But, you know, as a federally regulated institution, we get all of our laws and regulations generally come out of Washington. And so every year, this time, we have a fairly large group of coastal leaders, including myself, most of our board, that goes up with 5,000 or 6,000 other credit union folks, and we spend time on Capitol Hill, essentially educating our congressional delegation and senators on who we are, why we're different, and of course, we're continually making sure they understand why our tax exemption is good for the public and good for members and so forth. And so, you know, we were up there a week or so ago and had a lot of meetings over on Capitol Hill. Got to hear from a lot of legislators from around the country on things they're thinking about for financial services and so forth. You know, our congressional delegation has 2 vacancies right now.
Right.
The 9th district is having another election coming up in the next couple of months. And then Walter Jones from Eastern North Carolina, who's been a longtime supporter of credit unions, unfortunately passed away earlier this year. And at this point, no one's been appointed to fill that seat. But, you know, we're there to tell our story and tell how we're different than the major Wall Street banks. Every year we put together a member and community impact report, which really recaps everything we did for the community and our members over the course of last year. We left copies of that with all of our congressional delegation. One of the things that helps is we can show each of our congresspersons how many of our members are voters in their district. And that is a pretty powerful tool when we talk to legislators about either legislation we like or legislation we don't like. So it's pretty effective, and our members will be getting a member version of that at the annual meeting and thereafter. So it's you know, it's the way we tell our story formally and thoroughly once a year, and it's about transparency.
Yeah, it's pretty strong experience too to be able to get in front of them. And a lot of new faces this year, just around Congress in general. But being able to go and talk about what that impact is on our members and how the actions that they take in Washington really affect them. So as those start to as new laws start to get written by the new Congress, we'll be sure to keep our members informed of that, how that might potentially impact you. And if it's a big enough deal, we may ask you to send some letters and emails to your elected officials and let them know how this might actually affect what your life is like.
Well, and I would say one of the issues that we're really emphasizing this year is data security. We have data security requirements to protect member information that are very rigid and that cover all financial institutions. Unfortunately, the people who accept your debit card, my debit card, our credit cards, our members' cards aren't held to those standards. And so we keep seeing these massive data breaches where hackers get into a company's systems and steal credit card information, personal information, and so forth, which is creating fraud problems, identity theft problems, so on and so forth. And there's no real penalty to those companies when they get sloppy with protecting our information. And so we could very well, we're hopeful that some legislation on that front could advance this year. And I would say if it does, we may be asking our members to make calls and send emails to our congressional delegation.
Yeah, I remember when we were prepping for the trip and we were meeting with our state trade association, and one of the examples they threw out was, as we're getting ready to talk about data security, let's come with some stories about how our members have been negatively affected by data breaches. That we don't even have to do that. Chuck and I will be in the room, and it happens to us all the time.
All the time. I end up having at least one or two of my cards every year caught up in some kind of data breach.
Yeah, so it'll be an interesting year. See what happens with. Maybe we'll get some positive legislation this time around. And
let's hope. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
Hopefully, do what's best for our members.
Yes.
So, along the lines of doing what's best for our members,
right.
I just wanted to revisit a topic we talked about a little while back, and that's helping put a strong focus on our members' goals for this year.
Right.
So, I want to dive into something that we've got coming up.
Yep, it's pretty exciting. So, we're encouraging and will continue to encourage our members to do things to improve their financial well-being. And one of the ways we do that is try to encourage, or at least help us understand what goals a particular member may have, be it saving money, could be for a down payment on a house, saving for college, planning for retirement, buying a house, getting any number of reasons where members have financial goals. So we are launching a whole new section on Coastal 24 that is focused on helping members select a particular goal that they want to set and work on. And then we go through a series of articles and work on the things how we can help them fulfill that goal. And so it's all self-service, but it's all about how can we, through Coastal 24, help members set goals and achieve those goals over time. So we're pretty excited about having that out there, and it's a way that we can encourage members to set goals and achieve them.
Sounds good. And they'll start seeing stuff from us in the coming weeks. We'll do emails, there'll be digital ads, probably a lot on social media, and all that'll take you to that section of the website, allow you kind of dig in.
Well, and as I often say, we're in the business of helping members' dreams come true. And if you think about it, dreams generally come out of goals.
Right.
I want to buy a house. My dream is to buy a house. So how can we help a member achieve that dream? And so that's what this is all about.
Just fulfilling our mission, another tool to help people bank better to live better.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So I know members are always curious what we have going on. We do these videos every month and kind of have that open transparency. But we've got a formal way for members to kind of get connected to the credit union as well.
We do. We're owned by our members, and once a year we have an annual meeting where every single member is invited to come spend an hour or so with our leadership and our board and really understanding how do we do last year, what are we working on this year. And so that meeting is coming up on Monday, April 22nd. It'll be here at our headquarters here in Raleigh. But members get a chance to hear directly from the board. They get to hear about how we're doing financially. They'll get copies of our community and member impact report at the meeting and our financials. But it's about transparency. It's also about our democratic principle. So our members elect the board. We have a nominating committee that selects nominees every year to fill vacant board seats, and we normally have a couple of the 2 to 3 of those coming up every year. And then the members at that meeting get to vote on who's elected to the board. And so that's an important part of our democratic structure.
It's great that our board comes from our membership.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's not required in other types of businesses.
No.
You can have no affiliation with a business whatsoever, but be on their board and be benefiting from the decisions that you make that might not benefit your customers.
Well, and that's an important way that, given that our board members are members, they're interested, they have similar interests to our members, and they're able to bring that into the policy-making process and really push us in ensuring that we're doing the things we can to support members.
It's a strong differentiator.
Absolutely.
Makes us big. And then, of course, we've got to have some ice cream afterwards.
Absolutely. Yep, have a great meeting and then socialize with some great ice cream.
Yeah, it's always a good time. That's about all the time we have this month. Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, it's hard, it's hard to believe we're almost a quarter of the way through this year already. Spring's here and things are going great here at Coastal, and we look forward to continuing to serve our members and appreciate all the business that they do with us.
Very good. As I always do, I'll add, if you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can always hit that little bell icon and get notified anytime this or other videos. We've got the 2-Minute Tuesdays out now.
Oh,
those are
cool.
really popular.
Those are really cool.
We've probably published 3 or 4 of those by now, so members are really enjoying those. So great content to interact with. So all the more reason to subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Chuck, always fun.
Always fun.
We'll see you next
Till
time.
next month.